Today on Rappler, Liberal Party candidates failed to make it to the Senate's Magic 12 in the latest Pulse Asia survey. GMA Network and TV5 filed petitions against the Commission on Elections' airtime limits.
Palagay ko dapat pag-usapan na ang issue ng diborsyo. Simply because yung status quo sa ngayon ay hindi na katanggap-tanggap.
Bawat isang ebidensya na nagpapatunay na dapat magkaroon ng diborsyo, may 10 ebidensya na dapat hindi siya magkaroon.
And candidates for the Senate clash on divorce. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The results of the latest Pulse Asia survey is out. Not one of the candidates for senator from President Benigno Aquino's Liberal Party makes it to the Magic 12, although they aren't far behind. The survey shows the 3 LP candidates hovering between 13th to 17th spots. Presidential cousin Bam Aquino ranks 13th to 15th, with 31.4% of respondents saying they would vote for him. He's a few percentage points behind 12th placer, opposition re-electionist Senator Gringo Anasan, with a rating of 36.8%. Returning Senators Jambi Madrigal and June Magsaysay rank 14th to 17th and 16th to 17th, respectively. Inside the Magic 12 are 7 senatorial bets from Team Pinoy with a mix of nominees from the administration's coalition partners. Senators Loren Legarda and Francis Escudero continue to lead the survey. Also in the Magic 12 are 3 candidates from the Nacionalista Party, Senators Alan Peter Cayetano and Sonny Trillanes, former Las Piñas Representative Cynthia Villar. PDP Laban Senator Coco Pimentel and LDP Sonny Angara. 4 other bets from the opposition United Nationals Alliance make it to the Magic 12. Their vice presidential daughter Nancy Binay, San Juan Representative J.V. Ejercito, Cagayan Representative Jack Enrile, and former Senator Miguel Subiri. Jack Enrile drops almost 13 percentage points. His 40.4% rating is a far cry from the 52.2% rating he got in the November 2012 survey. The latest survey was conducted at the height of efforts to remove his father as Senate President.
So if the Senate President...
Broadcast giant GMA Network and TV5 file separate petitions against COMELEC's airtime rules. GMA Network criticizes COMELEC Resolution 9615 and its amendment, Resolution 9631, calling it, quote, too restrictive. It says the Supreme Court should stop the COMELEC from implementing airtime limits. COMELEC will impose aggregate and not per station ad limits. For all national candidates, 120 minutes in all TV networks and 180 minutes in all radio stations. And for all local candidates, 60 minutes in all TV networks and 90 minutes in all radio stations. This is different from 2010. GMA Network's lawyers say, quote, the aggregate airtime for political advertisements is restrictive. It impinges on the right to suffrage and the right of the people to be informed. In its 86-page petition, TV5 calls the airtime rule vague and makes it, quote, impossible for media outlets to comply while subjecting them to possible criminal liability. Kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, KBP's chair June Nicdao, says the organization will file its own petition next week. GMA Network and the KBP earlier appealed to COMELEC to reconsider this rule, with KBP also citing the public's right to information. KBP President Herman Basbaro says their opposition is not merely driven by business. 14 candidates for senator share their thoughts in a senatorial debate Thursday. 2 topics steal the show, allowing divorce and legalizing marijuana. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
Palagay ko, lahat po ay pabor sa sex education. Ang debate lang kung saan ba ibibigayan. Merong nagmumungkahi na grade 5, grade 6, may nagbumungkahi ng high school at may nagsasabing college. Para sa akin po, ngayon na may K+12 tayo, dapat yan ibigay sa senior high school.
Different candidates, different strokes. Take your pick. Former Senator Ernesto Maceda thinks sex education should only be taught to students before entering college. Another senatorial candidate thinks marijuana should be legalized. And another wants to restore faith, hope, and love in the government if elected. Rundown 2013, organized by college students from top universities, showcases the diverse worldviews of senatorial candidates. One topic that exposes stark differences, the divorce law. Controversial reproductive health bill activist Carlos Saldran asks the question that heats up the debate.
I mean, after RH, of course, women's rights, divorce comes next. So giving me a non-religious answer, or like a perfectly secular answer, what do you think of divorce?
Women's rights advocate Risa Hontiveros of the administration slate, who was pro-divorce, says it's long overdue.
Palagay ko dapat pag-usapan na ang issue ng diborsyo. Simply because yung status quo sa ngayon ay hindi na katanggap-tanggap. Marami ang mga kasalan o pamilya na may matindi, matagal, sinubukang solusyonan, pero hindi masolusyonan na problema, partikular yung wife battering, minsan pati yung mga anak sinasaktan, marital rape, incest.
Zambales 1st District Representative Mitos Magsaysay, a candidate of the United Nationalist Alliance, says there is no need for a divorce law. What couples need is more thorough marriage seminars.
Una-una, bago po tayo mag-asawa, meron po sa batas natin na nagsasabi, kung wala pa ang babae sa 25 years old, may parental advice na kailangan galing sa magulang. Kaya nga importante dito na bago po tayo kumuha ng marriage license natin sa City Hall, meron po muna tayong pinapasukang marriage seminar. Tinuturo sa atin, are we handa na psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, financially to enter the bounds of marriage?
But it is the religious ang Kapatiran Party's Rizalito David who steals the show with his passionate answer.
Sa bawat isang ebidensya na nagpapatunay na dapat magkaroon ng diborsyo, may 10 ebidensya na dapat hindi siya magkaroon. Kumpara na lang natin ang nangyayari sa Amerika. Nakabuti ba sa kanila? Nakabuti ba sa kanila ang diborsyo? Kayo na po ang sumagot nun, no?
He then turns to Saldran and lectures the panelist who faces a jail sentence for protesting the church's stand on the RH bill.
Scientifically, not religious. Dapat mo ring malaman, Mr. Saldran, na mga katuruan ng simbahan ay hindi lamang religious or spiritual. Maraming katuruan ng simbahan na nakabase sa empirical evidence. At yan po ang nais kong isabihin sa kanya.
The answer fires up the audience. Saldran tweets in response, "Sore losers finish last," and calls David a freak on Facebook. But it is Una candidate and San Juan Representative J.V. Ejercito who gets the most attention. When asked if he would legalize marijuana, Ejercito responds frankly.
If it will heal the body, why not?
Not all issues are as controversial, though. All candidates agree the Freedom of Information Bill is important. They also think the cybercrime law should be scrapped. The contrasting views may be a good thing. Voters now have a wide spectrum of choices to choose from in May. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Manila.
The Office of the President says Global Miner Extrata's Philippine unit followed all requirements for an environmental permit. The permit is needed to start operations at the Tampakan Gold Copper Mine. In a February 4th decision, Executive Secretary Paquito Ochoa Jr. rebuffs the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for flip-flopping on its decision to grant an Environmental Compliance Certificate, an ECC, to Sagittarius Mines Incorporated, the local unit of Swiss firm Extrata. Ochoa says DENR Secretary Ramon Paje already agreed to grant SMI the ECC in late 2011, but reversed himself in January 2012, citing the local ordinance of the South Cotabato government banning open-pit mining. Ochoa says securing a permit from the local government is separate from the ECC it needs from DENR. If it pushes through, the $5.9 billion Tampakan project will be the single biggest foreign investment in the country. City Nickel Mines and Development Corporation says it has paid over 375,000 pesos in fines to the government following the silt spill in its Palawan operations. In November 2012, a silting pond in the firm's nickel mining operation overflowed. In a disclosure to the stock exchange Friday, City Nickel's parent, Oriental Peninsula Resources Group Incorporated, says it cleaned the river and farm lots affected in the incident. The farm was fined after the Environment Department conducted water sampling tests on the Pinagduguan River. A government probe shows the City Nickel incident is because of the lapses in judgment of the mine foreman tasked to drain water from the silt ponds.